Hi, Craig.
Hey, Sam.
So this is the first episode of our Muzie podcast interactive show of sorts. So we're not exactly sure how this is gonna go. We'll figure it out. We're already 24 minutes late to starting. So
Yeah, I was looking on YouTube. I was gonna watch it there, and then I saw you posted the link for the Google Meet over there. So I was like, all right, I'll just this way.
yeah, we accidentally unplugged our Wi-Fi. We that took like 20 minutes to get back online.
Oh my gosh.
We dropped like the YouTube thing. The first connection didn't work. We tried to stream it to Facebook. That didn't work.
Hey,
So
we don't have your audio from this.
Technology.
no audio
Yeah,
from the stream.
yeah, from this scene
Just
specifically.
from
Yeah,
both of us.
just yeah for this. We don't have your desktop audio.
Okay,
Bear with us.
one sec. I had a feeling this would happen actually. Audio. One sec. Oops. I don't.
It's on BRB.
I
So.
know. This is the dummy round. So this is Ben. He's our.
How's it going?
He works. So you're gonna be our guinea pig for a second while we
Yeah.
figure this out.
All right, works for me.
So, oh, do I have to open that thing again? Okay,
Oh
I
yeah,
think I have
that's
to
what
do
it
that.
is. Okay.
System audio. Okay,
Let's
talk.
see. Let's go see.
Say something, Craig.
All right, I'm talking. Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Oh no, that's all right.
You're good, but now I can't. See what happens.
I can hear Craig fine.
Not Craig.
Audio good.
Weird.
All right, what about that? That might work.
Hello. Can you hear me now?
Better,
Can you
but
hear me
still
now?
can't.
Ah.
You're good, Sam.
All right, now I can't hear Craig though. So
Oh no.
if I switch this, all right, Craig, say, can I hear you now?
Can you hear me now?
I can.
Can you hear me?
Ben, can you still
Hey.
hear everyone?
Hey.
I hear both of you now.
Perfect.
Yep.
Awesome. So
Yay!
we did it.
Is that hard?
So I think after like 20 minutes of unsuccessful attempts, we finally got a semi-successful thing running. I see the crop that I attempted didn't work, but
Stand on one foot and just don't move.
I know, right?
Hold your breath.
Seriously, it's a 10 million.
He's going again. Craig's audio's going.
Okay, I think. Wait, so then okay, one second, because if all right, let's try this. Okay, let's try this, and then audio output. We're working. It never works. We episode with this. By the way, it's for everyone who's watching, who's like, "What the hell are they doing?" This is titled Episode 0 for a very good reason. So we ran this in trial by ourselves a bunch, but we weren't able to like. There's no way of doing this because it's live. We can't test it effectively until we do it. So. So we're more than happy for you to be our guinea pig. I really appreciate that. So let me see if I can get the all clear from the other side. If assuming everyone can hear me and Craig, then we're gonna keep going. Can you hear me and Craig?
Get Craig to speak.
Craig, say something.
Hello.
He said
Hello,
hello.
I'm talking. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
All right,
Hello, hello.
we're good. We're good. Okay, I don't know what I did with this time, but now the official beginning of the Muzie Show. Thank you, Craig, for joining us. I really appreciate you. So you run your own podcast, so I'm sure you know the ins and outs
Yeah.
of trying to make this work.
I normally just record myself talking for the most part, so it's usually pretty simple and straightforward in a setup.
I like it. Yeah, we might have to try something like that sometime. So basically, the way I guess what we're doing is sort of an interactive live podcast. So the idea is we'll have people coming and going. We have different segments. We've got Q&A. We've got music news. We've got music news. So yeah, is there? I guess I'll kind of throw it to you. Was there anything you wanted to talk about or discuss, or anything in your mind that was rattling around?
Wow, I wasn't expecting to be asked.
Hey,
Not particularly off the top of my head.
so I got.
I mean, specific to Muzie, I know we've been in conversation about the new user interface rollout.
Yeah.
What's the update on that?
Yeah,
if I might ask.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we are working on a completely new UI for Muzie. It's actually getting really close. So we actually redid it twice. So halfway through the rebuild, I was like, no, I don't like it, and so we did it again. So that's sort of typical tech building is you're like, I think I figured it out, and then further down the line you realize you haven't. So we've done a couple of new iterations, and the whole thing is much simpler to use, but we've added a dozen, maybe 24 new features. Some of the big ones that I think people are going to be excited about, which I can say because we've been working on those for a while. Big one is grouping students so that you can group your students however you would like. You can have a group of everybody, you can have groups of instruments, you can have groups by classes, you can whatever you want. And now also with assignments, instead of going into the assignment tool every time to edit, say you make a clip or you upload a file, you can just right click on that resource and then click add assignment or add to assignment. And that will simplify so now you can really quickly move through the platform. So a lot of those kinds of things are what we're working on right now. It's going to be this year. I say fall, but fall's a broad stroke. We're trying our best. We've added a lot more than we had intended. So at first I was calling it just a UI change, because that really was the whole point, was actually just same features, just literally change the layout. But as we started developing the new layout, we realized it opened up a lot of opportunities that we didn't have before. So now there's, like I said, there's like a dozen or so new actual features in there. And so that's going to be a lot of fun. And along with that, we're going to have training courses, webinars, and series, help guides, help series. It's going to be really interactive. So, because obviously the new UI is going to roll out and everyone's going to have to sort of figure out what to do. So we're going to provide, leading up to that, for about a month ahead of time, we're going to have weekly, like these live sessions where we're going to show the new features and we're actually going to showcase the new stuff. And that way you can kind of get a feel of what you're doing before you actually get in there. And then we'll have a training course and some other stuff that you can go through to really feel comfortable. But it should have some pretty cool new features as well.
That's exciting.
Yeah. So I guess on a quick question over to your side is how's the music soundtrack project going? I saw that you're...
Oh my gosh, yeah. So this has been super fun. So I picked 100 movie soundtracks, and I'm starting just on like non-instrumental orchestral. So basically it's like all bands.
Yeah, like song.
So yeah. So I picked 100, which is a lot, and then just kind of I've been going through and having daily voting, and so we're almost done with round 1. Today's the last day of round 1, and then tomorrow we start round 2. So
sweet, that's awesome. That's such a cool. Fun. Yeah, I love the idea. So I guess that's sort of worth mentioning is why soundtracks that are like compilations instead of soundtracks that are original works.
Yeah, so I kind of initially the thought went into my head of just kind of alliteration, right? Soundtrack, September, it works. And then I was like, okay, so then I'm going back and forth, and I was like, well, what could I do? And then of course, then I had the follow-up thought of alliteration of orchestral October. So October, I'm going to do a similar thing, just there with the orchestral instrumental soundtrack. So I was like, I could just do the compilation ones for September. So
well, you're in the right place for hold on, do I have it here? I don't know if I have for alliteration. I don't know if I've got it. I'm working on hey Ben, if you can hear me, can you grab the cards? I'm working on a game that is called Melody Monsters. It's nice. It's my card game, and pretty much everything I do is alliteration or something based on. Yeah. So I kind of love that. The pun is that this show is actually called Muzie Live because it's Muzie live. So,
Works.
but we're like, that's going to confuse the hell out of people otherwise. But I've been working on this card game.
Oh, that's so cool.
You see the melody monster. Yeah, it's pretty neat. It's gonna come out sometime. I'm not sure when, but the idea is that you've got these like characters, and you kind of summon them.
Cool.
You summon them through like collecting notes and putting the notes together to create the melody or the chord that's on the card. So sometime soon this will be another part of the Muzie catalog of things.
Nice.
Yeah, so kind of endless projects.
Of course.
Actually, on the side of that, we also got some new stickers finally, which we've been waiting forever. And this is, I guess, sort of an announcement. Is I redesigned the logo. And by redesign, I did exactly what you do when you redesign a logo, which is basically nothing. But basically, so here's the new logo, and it's, as for anyone who knows the company, you're probably thinking that's the exact logo that you already have. The difference is this logo has a black outline on each of the parts and a shadow to give it a little bit of a pop. And it's actually it's physically a different image, like it's completely remade from scratch. But we wanted to sort of spruce up the logo with the new UI. With the new UI, there's some other stuff that I haven't really told anyone about. Is we're going to do a new website, like a front-facing website. Cool. So that's going to have a whole bunch of new stuff. I mentioned the courses. That's going to actually be like a full proper course, like like multiple stages. Probably going to host it in like Kajabi or Thinkific or whatever. I can't remember what the name. But yeah, one of those course-based programs. So it's actually something that you follow through with, and you can get steps, and you get awards and stuff for completing the phases. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming out in the next couple months. Yeah, awesome. Well, I guess we should jump to our next segment. I don't know how to do this, so if you have anything else to say, please. But we're gonna try a news segment next, I think.
Is it all new though?
This is gonna be great. So, also, if other people do want to call in, please feel free. The link is somewhere.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to jump off here in a couple minutes.
Yeah, no worries. But feel free. Even if we're not in this part of the session, please feel free to call in and just go into the waiting room. We'll admit people as we go. So. Craig's the only one here right now, so that's no problem. But just saying out to anyone that's watching, if you did want to join in on the conversation, feel free to grab the link and jump in. The whole point is this is sort of an interactive come and go live sort of deal. So, and it's a total work in progress. So, thanks so much, Craig, for stopping in. And for everyone, go check out. Is it on your podcast? Where is the voting?
So I have Substack, and that's where I've got all the voting. So it's substack.harmonymusiceducation.com, and Harmony is spelled HARMANNY, Music Education.
Awesome, perfect. Yeah, so if you're watching, go check it out and vote.
Yeah.
And I love the idea, so keep it up and let us know how the October one goes with the orchestra part.
Totally.
Sweet. Awesome. Well, I will talk to you soon.
Alrighty.
All right, thanks. Now, let's figure out. All right, so now we're going to do our news segment. So I think, let's figure this out. Can everyone see me? We'll figure it out. So the news segment is pretty cool. So it's actually kind of sad, but the news is sad, but the segment should be fun. Yay. So this news is going to be... the big news of the weekend is the Taylor Hawkins Memorial Concert. So it's pretty unfortunate it had to happen, but it was pretty neat because it ended up being a memorial concert for quite a few people who I felt kind of got either overshadowed or, maybe people have sort of forgotten that aren't really with us anymore. Some of the greatest musicians that have ever lived, in my personal opinion. So some of the highlights of the show were Rush got back together. Neil Peart died a few years ago. Personally, I think he's one of the greatest drummers that ever lived. And I don't think Rush has done anything since. So that was really neat to be able to see them get together and do something again. Same with Van Halen. So Van Halen, obviously Eddie Van Halen passed away too. The band didn't get together, but his son Wolfgang was there and was able to do some tributes to him. So that was really neat as well. Back in Black, so the singer from AC/DC, Brian Johnson, he got up on stage, and they actually had the drummer from Metallica, Lars Ulrich, on drums with a couple of the guys from Foo Fighters, and they played some Back in Black and some AC/DC songs. So that was pretty neat because, again, another band that's not really touring, and a lot of the members aren't around anymore. And then I think sort of some of the highlights, two really cool things, is Paul McCartney sang "Oh Darling" for the very first time live ever. I didn't know that he had never performed this, but it was the first time he's ever done it in live, and it was a duet. So it was the first time he's ever sung it as a duet, and it was the first time it's ever been sung live. So that was really cool. I thought it was a really sort of special, occasion to bring that out. And then sort of the cap and the highlight of the whole thing was Shane Taylor Hawkins' son. He's also a drummer. He got on stage and played "My Hero" with the band, and they sort of ended the show on that, which I think was a pretty fitting way to kind of cap off a big event. One thing that's kind of neat about this is that was one of two tribute shows. So they're actually going to do another tribute show. That's going to be in LA. This one was in London. So I'm guessing that the lineup's probably slightly different. So it'll be really interesting to see what they do with that. And I'm assuming we'll have a couple of, the same people be there. But yeah, I think it's great that they're doing, something about this. One kind of interesting music news is both Eminem and Adele are one award away from the EGOT, which is sort of the grand slam of musical awards or celebrity awards, I guess. So it's an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony. They both have an Emmy, a Grammy, and an Oscar. They now would need a Tony. So my thought is that they should just do a musical together, Eminem and Adele. I think that would honestly probably get a Tony, so they might as well go for it. But I do think that's pretty cool. They're both incredible musicians who have sort of paved their way. Eminem actually is doing some really interesting work with NFTs and some crypto stuff. I know it's a controversial topic right now, but I really think he's decades ahead of his time. I think it's going to be one of those things that we look back at and go, okay, like they clearly knew something that we didn't. So I think that's pretty cool to see. There's a lot of new kind of trends going on in the music world, with NFTs, cryptos, streaming, all of that. The bands are finally getting back out there. I think Aerosmith played their first show for the first time in a couple of years this weekend, and old bands are releasing new music. The Pixies have something out, a new song. So I think that's actually kind of neat. In college, my professor was actually the engineer and producer on a lot of the Pixies records. It's Sean Slade, who's a really cool guy. So check out that album if you're interested in that kind of music. So I think that's probably our news segment for the day. So I think we'll jump over to our next segment, which we'll find out what it is in a second. Thank you. Was it conversation? This one.
I think it was just this, right? Who's this guy?
Yeah, it's that one.
Is it? Okay.
I can just turn it up.
Yeah, it wasn't super loud. I could hear you, but...
All right, everybody. Well, what's everyone talking about in the group? So this is the. I'm just making sure my audio works. This is the Muzie teacher group. So these monsters. So I just wanted to bring these up for a second because everybody gets a kick out of these guys. So these monsters are pretty awesome. These guys are in the Muzie. They're in your Muzie account and they're used as awards. And they're also used as stickers. So there's two ways that you can sort of send monsters. In your account, there's a send to the band option when you're in a lesson. It's a little, it's this guy in the middle, the purple guy. It's his face. If you click on him, it will shoot all of the monsters onto the screen, sort of like confetti. So that's a lot of fun. I know a lot of people in demos, pretty much everybody's like, what the heck does this do? And then they always get a good smile when they click on it. So if you've not done that, it's in your every account. So it's on free and premium and everything. So feel free to play around with that. And then also these are used as stickers. So at the end of a lesson, if you go into the leaderboard, you can actually click on the sticker and then send it to anybody that you'd like. So the nice thing is you can write your own messages under the stickers as well. So you don't have to. Ours come with like pre-written messages, but you don't have to use those. You can write anything you'd like. And then we actually have more monsters that you have not seen than you have seen. So these 6 monsters are the ones available, but we actually have 9 more ready to go. They will be available soon. If you've been in the group and you've been looking around, you might have spotted some of them. I might be able to give you a little bit of a hint. If you scroll down this group page for a while, you might see a couple of guys over this water bottle that you haven't seen yet. So, don't want to give away too much, but we do have quite a few new characters coming. So, if you take a peek, you might find some of them. Actually, this was something I wanted to bring up real quick too, is that we did this a few weeks ago. This album generator is really neat, sort of bouncing off what Craig was saying about having all of the soundtracks that he was voting on. This album generator takes the 1001 albums chosen by a panel of music critics, which is a book. So we finally figured out how this was compiled. This is a book that was written quite a while ago by music critics, and they have compiled this website, and it's actually pretty neat. The way it works is that you just let's just go for it. You guys know my email address, it doesn't matter. Reveal my album. Alright, Talking Heads, Fear of Music. So that's what I'm going to listen to today. So this is really fun because, we all love music. So it's a pretty neat way of checking out something else. I do know who the Talking Heads are, and I am sorry to admit that I've never listened to them. I've heard of them a lot, but I don't know any of their music directly. So I'm going to check this out, and it should be pretty fun. So we're going to jump real quick to the Be Right Back screen. I'll be right back. I think we're going to try to get another few people in for the interviews or the chat and answer a few Q&A. Back Okay, so we are back, and there's just some more technical glitches. And there's just yep. Okay. Yeah, so we're just having some more technical problems as always. So we're probably going to start wrapping it up here. This is, as we said, this is our first episode. Well, it's not even. It's episode 0. We expected this to be sort of a train wreck but fun, which is pretty much exactly what it was. So we have some ideas that we're going to change and tweak as we go. But basically, the premise of this show is going to be a live, once a week podcast where we're going to open it up to group discussions, one-on-ones, interviews, Q&A, news, updates, random stuff that's crossing people's minds. Whatever you guys want to talk about, whatever you want to hear about, please comment, let us know. But we figured this would be a really fun way to sort of stay engaged, interact, talk to people, and do a little bit more than just our standard office hours or a stale, podcast interview where you guys just sit and listen. So please feel free to get as involved as you would like. We're looking forward to seeing where we can take this. And if you haven't tried out Muzie, please feel free to do so. Obligatorily sponsored by Muzie.live. So, thank you, and we'll see you next week. Bye.